What's up, it's Nez, and welcome back to the letter, everyone. A lot has happened. We sold the mansion, we had lunch with our friends, but we also saw the ghost yet again. Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Although the air feels muggy and I miss a chilly autumn winter, it's one of those rare weekends when I'm up before my alarm rings. Who's up before their alarm rings? If it isn't for Zach's call last night, I'll probably sleep in. When 9 a.m. rolls around, I'm already on my way to the Ermengarde mansion. Why are we going back to the fucking haunted mansion? To think I have to go back again. I'll be lying if I say I'm excited at the prospect of entering the place once more. I don't have to anymore. Rose happily gave me paperwork duty when I volunteered. We're on the last phase of the sale too, ha! Well, almost. Papers to sign, documents to finalize, various other legalities to settle with the current owner, and all that, still. Never mind that its new owners want everything done within a week, when the process typically takes more than that. They want it done, we'll get it done. You fucking rights. I really don't understand rich people. But money can do wonders. I won't be surprised if they'll be able to push the process just a little more, like what they did to secure the house. The point is, I'm under no obligation to return to the house anymore. Running is an option, of course. I can now move to another property and forget everything. But I think the ghost will follow us. However, at the end of the day, it's always my conscience that wins. What if something happens to those that have seen the letter? Ash, Zach, Becca, Miss McCullough, the Wrights. The guilt will follow me to my grave. We don't have to care about any of them. The mansion looms as we approach. Oh fine, we have to care about them. Whispers welcoming me back, shadows calling. I hope this is the last time. Oh great. We're gonna be stuck there now, aren't we? They are engaged in a quiet conversation when I find them in the mansion's front gardens. There's a relief in familiar company, in knowing I won't be alone going back inside for my silly idea. But it's impossible to feel at ease here. Even with the delicately pruned gardens awaiting spring's arrival or the beautiful winding pathways, this is a death trap. Like the very place itself is aware of its trespassers. Zach, on the other hand, doesn't seem to notice. Or he simply doesn't care, or he's already used to it. I can never tell with him, with his gentle smile and amiable air. He's almost as hard to read as Ash. Almost. At least Zach doesn't ask for as much patience as dealing with Ash does, and that says plenty about him. Wonder of wonders how the two ended up the best of friends. He waves at me as I approach. True to his promise, Zach has also brought his friend with him. Hello there, Mr. Priest. Will you exorcise the demons in this accursed hole?
Father Norman. Somehow I expected him to look older.
Oh, don't be surprised. They say people who have found their calling are getting younger these days.
Sorry, Father. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
No offense taken, though I admit I'm a bit surprised. I didn't think someone would ask this house to be blessed after all these years.
You've heard of it, Father?
In passing. The occasional rumors and talk by the locals, nothing new, but still interesting to the curious. You don't spend years serving the church here without hearing a random hearsay here and there.
You never mentioned what you thought of those, Father.
What did you think of those, Father? You think you could cure it?
Ah, but he who goes down to the grave does not come up. He shall never return to his house, nor shall his place know him any more.
How morbid.
But what I saw...
May not be what you think it is. It depends entirely on what you mean by it. If you're talking about spirit beings, angels, demons, then yes. Are we talking about the spirits of people who have departed? The word makes it clear that once the deceased has left us, they are gone. But of course, I didn't come here to bore you with a lecture.
No, it was enlightening, Father, to say the least.
Just remember that a God who loves his children would never let them linger once the time comes.
That's what my papa often tells me.
Father, you're so going to die, I'd know it.
Your father must be a good man. He raised you well, no doubt. Well then, shall we? Regardless of what it is, I'm sure the mansion's new owners would appreciate such sincere intentions. From a stranger, no less.
He lets Zach and I walk ahead. A relief. This way he won't see how tightly I'm clutching the straps of my bag. I'm terrified to go back in, Father. Father Norman's probably trying to put me at ease. But the worry, the cold, restless, foreboding feeling has firmly lodged itself in my stomach, making its presence known with every step towards the house.
Hey, you okay?
No, I'm obviously not okay. This place gives me the creeps. It's nothing. It gives me the fucking creeps. It's hard not to lie to Zach when he gives you that look. It's just there, right in front of us, taunting us. The kind that implores, a silent appeal. I'm not sure if he's even doing it consciously. Another breeze blows and I try not to shiver, try not to listen to the voices that may or may not be there.
Ugh, this place really gives me the creeps.
It doesn't seem more than an ordinary house to me, though. Damn, I should have brought my camera with me. I saw a few areas that'd be good for a shoot. You think the new owners will allow it?
You think the ghost would allow it?
Shh! What if you catch something? Or someone in one of the pictures?
It just means they want to be seen, doesn't it?
Don't ask for it.
It's not like we can stop them if they do.
Very true.
You're really not helping, Zach.
Alright, sorry. Don't worry. I don't think whatever's inside this house will do anything.
Zach would be great at CinemaSins.
I'm here, yeah? I'll take care of them. Or I think I can.
You're not that scary, but thanks. I'll be sure to run behind you if I see one.
Ridiculous talk, though the temporary reprieve it lends is more welcome. He offers me a smile in return, the least I could do. And with a slight motion of his head, he gestures for us to move ahead, while my own fears are left forgotten for the time being. The things inside my bag clutter softly against each other while I rustle for the keys to the mansion. I should have heard the telltale jiggle by now, but didn't I put it in my bag last night? Seconds later, I'm sitting on my heels, and one after another, I'm taking everything out of every pocket, every slip. It'll be a pain to put everything back together, but I'm sure it's just underneath these. Nothing. Oh man, of all times to forget.
Is something the matter?
We forgot the fucking keys, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Father. I think I left the key.
But is the door gonna open by itself for us? No use coming up with excuses, right after they've both taken the time to go this far away from the city. With a heavy sigh, I grab the door handle to pull myself up, a string of apologies ready at the tip of my tongue, and...
Careful, Bella!
Uh-oh.
We've spoken with the current owners. Well, technically, you're not yet the owners, but...
There's a brief moment of confusion, and then I'm falling. The momentum of the door swinging open pulls me back first into the mansion's foyer, before I can make sense of what's happening.
Ow, my back.
Who let us in?
What the? Isabella?
Oh, hello, British waifu. No time to nurse my bruised back or make up excuses because the next thing I know, Zach's gently pulling me up right by my arm. Rose looks down at me with mixture of relief and apprehension. Ah sheesh, good going, Isabella, right after you volunteered to work on the papers. And standing behind her.
Ma'am Hannah! Mr. Wright!
Hello there, you creepy fucks.
Oh, Isabel. We always meet in the most interesting circumstances.
A complete understatement, darling. What are they doing in my house?
He waves his hand towards Zach and Father Norman like their presence is a blasphemy against his own.
I thought you said you wanted to do paperwork duty. What are you doing here?
Like a deer caught in the headlights. Unfair, Rose. That's putting me on the spot. Seeing their expectant look leaves me no choice but to answer.
The reason why I'm here?
Well, spit it out, Lily. We don't have all day.
I'm just here to make sure everything is fine before you move in.
Technically, that's true. I am so sorry, Mama. You said I'll go to hell if I lie. I likely will after this, but there's no other way. Well, it isn't entirely a lie. I am here to make sure no one disturbs them after they move in. It just so happens that what I'm checking for and trying to drive away is of the paranormal variety.
Oh? The house appears impeccably fine to me.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten killed yet. The grin on his face, though, when he returns his attention back is similar to what my Kuya Jordan often gave me when he's up to something. Usually a scare prank that inevitably ends in me crying. I never did forget the way my brother sneers at me. A part of me thinks perhaps if I hadn't been the object of his mischief in childhood, I would have grown a little braver.
Come on, little Lily. Lying doesn't do that cute little face any justice. I'm a very patient man. Now, why are you really here?
Right now, in the face of an almost identical expression, perhaps even crueler than what I'm used to, the lie I told falls apart.
The truth is I was just thinking we could have the house blessed before move-in day.
And why would we ever need to have this house blessed?
Because of the fucking history that it has. There's really no problem with letting it happen.
For luck? And protection?
I shrink under his scrutinizing gaze. For a second, I think he'll start shouting at me. Not the mocking, jeering kind, but one wondering if he's hearing things right. I'll say he's amused, but I honestly can't understand what's so funny with what I've just said. Is it really that weird? Isn't it the custom here? I wish Becca here would explain stuff like this.
That's rich coming from you. When we saw Devlin Court, you didn't.
It's a small custom back home. I thought it would be nice to do something that would bring positive energy to the mansion since this place has been empty for years.
It is a small custom back here, but can't you at least explain it a little better towards these fucks?
And the papers, Isabella? I hope you did those first before this.
Of course I did. It's almost done, in fact. But there are some items I still have to double check before finalizing everything. You know I don't sign without a thorough inspection. And well, this is what this is for too. I just thought it would be more efficient to do both at the same time.
Here I thought you didn't want to go back.
We didn't.
A job is a job, Rose. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then go ahead.
Wait, they're letting us do it?
No need to be so hard on her, Rosie.
Hey, no calling her pet names, only I can do that.
I personally think it's a nice touch. I was actually thinking of the same thing, but you beat me to it.
Darling, Buttercup, please. You know these things don't work.
But there's no harm in trying.
No offense meant to the holy man, of course. That does not explain the nigger, though.
Ah, shit. All of a sudden, there's an awkward silence that even Rose, of all people, seems reluctant to break. Although a desire to do so is evident in the way her eyes nervously shift from Mr. Wright to Zack. Not that I won't, I know he's a client, but... You can't just say that in front of other people. In front of Zack, no less. Oh, we're gonna kill him? We're gonna let him die so bad? If Ashton were here, I know he wouldn't stand for it. And neither do I. There's a reason why bullies back home never touch my younger brother again after I gave them a taste of their own medicine. He might be inches taller than me, but I'm pretty sure I can still land a hit or two. Maybe, if only I'm not going to get in trouble with BRC for it. But before any punch could be thrown, Ma'am Hannah cuts in.
Lucille Mitchell Wright.
In a voice too firm, demanding his complete silence.
What?
Instead of answering, she merely crosses her arms and shoots her husband a sharp, disapproving glare. That seems to have done the trick. He immediately shuts his mouth, but before muttering a few inaudible words under his breath. At this, Ma'am Hannah could only sigh and shake her head.
Oh, give it a rest, love. Do you have a better idea? Who knows? Positive energy might even give us what we've been waiting for. Or some peace. Let them do their job.
What have we been waiting for? I don't think I was ever informed of.
Nothing you should worry about right now.
Is Hannah pregnant?
Anyway, we've still got a few things we need to discuss with Rosie here. Over lunch? I hope you don't mind, Isabel. We'd love to take you with us, but...
Oh no, we're good.
Oh, no. Go ahead, ma'am. This'll take time. That's why there's two of us working on this.
Rose looks like she's about to murder someone. Probably me. Oh, that's hot. At least she won't be left to deal with a haunted property. She got the better end if anyone's asking me.
Oh, wonderful. I hope the next time the three of us meet, it'll be over a closed deal,
Of course, ma'am. Please look forward to it.
Rose hurriedly hands me the keys to the house before leaving, mouthing reminders to secure the place and harmless threats for throwing her under the bus. I return it with a reassuring smile of my own, even if she's the one who forgets. Sheesh. And like that, gone. Just as quick as they appeared, leaving me wondering if this is simply what's typical for the rich and famous, fleeting from one scene to the next without a care. If so, I'd rather stay with my rundown apartment or a little shack back home. There's still joy in not missing the smallest things after all. And now, with a house this big, it's not surprising when the ceremony takes a few hours to finish. The sun's already high in the sky by the time we've gone through the last room. I can never say I'm a devout follower of my faith, even with Mama and Papa's teachings. But hearing every passage, every word Father Norman uttered as we went around the house had set a lull in me. Soothing, comforting. All of a sudden, the mansion doesn't seem so scary anymore. Maybe there is an end to this. Don't you ever say that. It's gonna make something happen. Or perhaps this is the end. Father Norman bids us goodbye upon exiting the mansion grounds. He has business in the village nearby. He says, a minute gesture to reach out to the members of their parish every once in a while. It reminds me of a distant memory of helping hands and a few kind smiles. What pulled my family through when times are tough. But before he leaves...
Isabella, a word before I go?
Yes?
Zachary hasn't been really forthcoming with your situation, and it is something I understand it wasn't his to share. But whatever burdens you, know that it's not a permanent fixture in your life from which you'll come out stronger. Besides, you have people to bear it with.
I bite back the harsh retorts before they come out, masking it with a smile as we wave the good priest off. His words, though meant comfort, has only left something hollow in me and a bitter taste in my mouth. And if they don't believe you, what am I to do? A tentative hand lands briefly on my shoulders, taking me out of my thoughts before they take a sullen turn. But my smile doesn't quite reach my ears when I turn to him.
Say, do you want to go somewhere?
Right now? Where to?
Somewhere to eat?
Anywhere in the city. I'll leave it up to you.
Should I take his offer? Hang out with Zach, maybe some other time. Let's hang out with Zach.
It wouldn't hurt. I've got some stuff I need to buy. Groceries. And there's a shop I want to check.
Not the same shop where we saw the fucking ghost again, please.
Is it real food this time?
Let me guess. Rebecca?
She's just worried about you. Even I can't eat that much instant noodles.
I can.
Think of it as a talent. Let's just go, Zach.
I smile. Real one this time, devoid of any unpleasant thoughts. Regardless of what happened, I don't think of them that way. Zach has me wait on the nearby bench upon arriving, prior to going off somewhere. He hasn't returned since, and it's been a good 20 minutes of being left alone entirely to my thoughts. In this weather, the Park City gives off a lazier and more languid vibe than usual. Where children are usually seen running around and playing, there are now people lying, leaning back on their picnic baskets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. The smell of food drifts from nearby food carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one will catch the whiff of freshly trimmed grass. I'll gladly sleep on this bench if I'm not waiting for anyone. Soon enough, I see his hulking figure running towards me, carrying a medium-sized box in one hand and casually waving the other at me. He's panting when he reaches my bench, sweat dripping profusely from his forehead, but there's a grin on his face.
Sorry, the line was really long. Really long.
You didn't have to run. Sit down first.
Nah, I'm good. Didn't want to make you wait for these.
Aw, Zach. I already know what's in the blue box before he opens it. Cinnamon rolls! All 6 of them topped with a white cream cheese glaze. The very same one I bought after I sold my first property. Aw, Zach. After I met Zach, Ash, and Becca, funny how such a small thing can trigger a distant memory, no matter how mundane it is. I don't say no to free food, but why is he getting me these now?
What for?
He leans on the empty space beside me, wiping the sweat on his forehead before answering.
An apology. And as thanks for yesterday and the other day.
You don't
Zach
have to
is
buy me
best
anything,
friend!
Zach.
Oh, Zach, you're too kind. We have to make sure you don't die.
You were upset. You haven't been yourself recently, and people kind of miss that, you know?
Are you just saying that, or...
No, really. Rebecca told me. You know how she is. Ashton, too.
Ashton was an ass. He should have been named Ashhole instead.
He went a little overboard, yeah. I can talk to him if you want.
He'll still tease me about it, even if it's Rebecca telling him to stop. Besides, I can handle him.
We can handle Ashhole.
You always do. And yesterday, when you talked me through my little slump, I thought, hey, I want our old Isabella back. Are you still upset?
There are times when I wish Zach had been my big brother, or Becca my older sister. Maybe life would have been a little easier then. Maybe Papa wouldn't be as sick as he is. Maybe I wouldn't be alone here. But then again, if he is, if they are what I wish them to be, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have met Ash too. Life back home is tough, but for all of that, I won't change it for one selfish wish. In this city of 68,000 people, I have people I can depend on. 3 of them, in fact. When you think about it, when you compare the numbers to the odds of finding someone like them amidst the sea of nameless people, I'm lucky.
Thanks a lot for today, Zach. You didn't have to, but you did. I can always count on you.
Just me? No Ashton or Rebecca? Oh boy, they won't be happy to hear that.
Ash can rot in a ditch.
I don't mind being the favorite, though.
Nope, no favorites. But you cook better than both of them, so that's a plus.
It's always been food with you, ain't it?
Don't put it like that! You're making me sound like a glutton.
I'm not saying you are, but it does feel good to know there's someone I can invite for food to be able to eat all of it.
Only that? I thought we were also art buddies.
Oh, that too. But the food thing really stands out when you think about it. You do eat a lot for someone your, size.
Zach!
Low blow! I take pride in my height.
So, is it okay now? Do you feel better? Does it still scare you?
A little. I'll be okay. I'll figure it out, somehow. It's not as bad as the other day, and Father Norman helped too. I should have brought something to thank him.
Something tells me Father Norman's gonna die.
Oh, we could visit him anytime. He loves hearing from the young ones.
He isn't that old, is he?
Don't know. He doesn't tell. I think I might have seen his face somewhere before. I just couldn't recall when or where. Ash says he looks like his boss, so the bartender at the local pub if he squints. Don't take his word for it, of course. He might have accidentally inhaled something from the forensic lab again when he said that.
This time, the laughter that comes from both of us is genuine. Back to the usual. Things may have not been the easiest lately, but it certainly isn't the worst that it's happened. We do end up sharing the cinnamon buns between us, despite Zach's insistence that it's only for me. But more than the food, there is repose and contentment.
If you need anything, just ring, okay? Like when Ash annoys you too much. I'll help you with him, best friend or not.
No way. I can take him on.
Still an extra muscle wouldn't hurt, yeah? Just let me know, and I'll back you up. My sister knows this one thing to shut him up when he's being his usual self. Ask me what it is whenever you want, and I'll spill it.
I don't think that's necessary, but thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
Some blackmail material. He leaves me with a smile and a wave. Off to some new gig again. As for me, we still need to talk, Becca, Ash, and I. Put petty arguments aside like the adults we are. This, however, is a start, no matter how small it may be. I just hope I can keep them safe. Light wind blows again, sending dried leaves swirling and a distinct smell of earth into the air. For the first time, the sunlight feels less harsh. Maybe a walk is good. I need to stock up my pantry too. Come to think of it, isn't there an art store that opened recently near the park? The cat's name is Baruthiel. Or at least that's what his collar says. It's an old name to give a cat in my opinion. Did we find a cat? But it speaks grace much like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swishes his tail and his eyes follow my hands at every movement. I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I'm not the very picture of grace when he found me after all. It was a bad idea carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries without help or a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have bought these all at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park to the nearest bus stop. And now I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up on a park bench and drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. Is the cat watching us or something behind us? I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat, but back at home they're considered ill omens.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
Not that I've ever acted graceful in my life, of course. Growing up with rather younger brothers and a sister does that. Or maybe it's the opposite. Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Ah well, graceful or not, there's no use moping. A short breather and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad, even if it's a cat, as long as it doesn't bite, or crosses my path.
Where's your owner, anyway?
He has no one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what the collar is for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped on one of its paw, though. I wonder what happened to it. Aw, poor kitty! Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before, a cat. Not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
I take a small packet of sweets from one of my bags lying beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put one into my mouth, he meows. My hand stops.
Do you want one?
He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. I shift the piece to my palm and hold it out to him warily. He sniffs at it once, twice before...
Baruthia!
Uh-oh. Ooh, Miss McCullough. Like a good properly trained pet, Baruthiel responds as soon as he's called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps up in the direction of the voice. Miss McCullough's hardly impossible to miss. What with her height, but mostly especially in the way she carries herself.
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you? Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCullough.
Never mind the pleasantries. Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Bruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even ran away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Bruthiel's a she.
Oh. She? All this time I thought. The pause in conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely two people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meetings like this don't happen a lot, and if it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. Talk about her cat. Talk about her job. Let's talk about her job.
I'm just curious. About your work.
What is it you do?
What about it?
There is something guarded in her expression at the mention of work, but I push through with my question.
I just want to know how it is to work on a house like the Ermengarde Mansion. Is it hard?
I guess she isn't expecting a question like that, if the way her eyebrows shot up tells me something.
Because of its age? I wouldn't say it is. It is a challenge, considering the factors me and my team have to sort out.
No ghost?
But it's a good project. A breath of fresh air from what I usually work on. And I have a good team. Those original fittings, though. It's what I'm absolutely interested in working on. It might be old, but the architecture is magnificent. I'm sure you've seen the stained glass windows in the foyer. Oh, I can already think of so many things I could do with it. But of course, my team will have to double check for necessary repairs here and there. That's probably for the best.
I hope none of them die, though.
It's easy to break some key elements with a rush restoration job, and who knows what other hidden issues there might be underneath. People can be so careless. I'm sorry, I spoke too much.
Well, she's getting a bit cute.
No, it's okay. You seem to really love what you're doing.
It's not really like that. I'm just lucky to have found work in an interesting field. Anyway, Bruthiel's due for her visit to the vet. Nice talking to you, Miss Santos.
Nice running into you, Miss McCullough.
I wish you luck with what you're planning to work on. It seems like a big project, too.
She gestures with her head towards the bags on the bench, the ones filled with the stuff I've recently bought from the art store.
It's a project for a friend, actually.
All the same. Good luck regardless.
I watch as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something she's forgotten to say.
By the way, about the Ermengarde Mansion. With my clients, it's the rights, I mean.
Yes, what about the creepy fox?
I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
It should have been.
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Ah, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion.
The letter, the same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss McCullough that the urban legends aren't just legends anymore. They're real. She is not going to fucking believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCullough.
I hasten to pick up all the bags I've left on the bench and run as far as my legs can take me. In that moment, what I'm carrying in my hands weighs far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. I want to be home. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house. Of her. Of my own cowardice. The food tastes less appetizing tonight. A pity. One will think that someone who has been on a continuous binge of instant noodles will find a home-cooked meal like this enjoyable. But it isn't. Hunger isn't what's gnawing at me tonight, neither are my sore muscles. The TV runs loudly in the background, and what it says barely registers in my brain. It's hard when the thing you keep trying to forget keeps returning to the forefront of your mind. It distracts you, eats at you, devours you. I wish this would stop. I wish I was the one who picked it up. I wish it was somebody else.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home yesterday evening. Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide.
Huh?
The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper, 33 years old, working as a real
What?
estate agent.
Rose?
Discovered lying in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
Our British waifu! Our British waifu! No! No! This isn't what I meant. This isn't what I want. This isn't supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen. Our British waifu is gone. No one's supposed to die. Those are just stories, right? Legends. That's what everyone have kept telling me. So why? Immediately I rush to the study table in search of my phone. My hand, cold from dread, clings tightly to it as soon as it touches the edges. A piece of folded paper, the letter lying unassumingly beside it, slips to the floor when I pick the device up. But I pay it no mind. There are more important things. Right now, I need to call her. I need to call her. I was with her just not too long ago and she was okay. No. It isn't Rose, I'm sure of it. I just talked to her and a sob escapes me and hot tears begin to blur my vision. One after another they trickle down, weighted by the same very guilt I refuse to admit I've been carrying from the start. The same one I've been hiding from. The same one that has put people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number on my contacts list. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick it up, tell me to turn down the waterworks and call me a wuss afterwards.
She'll answer. Please answer, Rose.
Again and again, I dial. Whispering. Praying. Pleading.
Come on, Rose. Don't do this to me. Please pick up. I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxborn in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
The TV runs loudly in the background. A deafening static sounds from my phone's speakers. But in my ears I can only hear the screams. Her pleas. Her whispers. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? We're not safe. Holy shit, our British waifu died. Oh no. If you enjoyed this episode though, like and subscribe so we could grow our channel together. We're continuing this fucked up adventure next time. We gotta get down to the bottom of this to make sure our friends don't die. Well, except for Ash. Once again, my name is Nez and thanks for watching. Bye everyone.